You guys love the Lord?
Yes.
Amen.
Come on. Do you love the Lord this morning, guys?
Amen.
Let's get a little bit excited about something. Anyway,
Amen.
Amen.
Bless him, Lord.
2 or 3 years ago, I preached a sermon up here, Jesus is passing by. And Jesus totally passed by that day.
Amen.
I mean, there's miracles happen when Jesus passes
Yes.
by.
Amen.
Yes.
Things change.
Yes.
Things are never, ever going to be the same after He walks by.
Amen.
And you reach out and you grab a hold of Him. I remember many times in my life, as lost could be, Jesus passed me by.
Yes.
And I didn't have enough sense to reach out and grab a hold of Him. I said, He gave me the invitation. He'd beat on my heart's door, and I said, not now, God, not now. You know, I got things to do. I got a life to live. Not now, God.
Yes.
Well, he come back to me, even though he didn't have to, David. He promised to appear to every man once.
Amen.
He gave me many chances. He called, Steve, come. I said, no, Lord, you're passing by, but, you know, I really want to be
Bless him, Lord.
right here where I'm at.
Yes.
In this filth and this sin. I really enjoyed sin. But one day when he walked by, I got a glimpse of his glory.
Yes.
I saw what I was missing. I saw the greatness of God, the beauty of
Yes.
God.
Amen.
And I decided I needed that. And I run. He was passing by. And all the demons and hell and all that filth that was on me was trying to hold me back, Rick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
But you know what? He reached his hand through all
Thank
that
you, Lord.
junk, got a hold of me, and pulled me to Him.
Yes.
My life has never been the same. When Jesus comes by, when we get a hold of the hem of His garment, things change.
Amen.
Amen.
Praise the Lord.
Now I come from a long line of people that believed in what I call deathbed religion. They wanted to live life the hardest they could live it. And when they knew they was getting ready to die, they'd holler for the preacher, come over here to the hospital, and let's fix things up.
Bad.
Sometimes that don't work.
No.
I had a cousin that had been out of the pen so many times, it's funny. Yeah, I mean, really, it's ridiculous. He was a pretty bad guy. Not really a bad guy, just into stealing, robbing, and stuff like that. Well, he had got out of prison, and the preacher come, and he said, won't you give your heart to God? Jesus was walking by. And he said, not me, man. I'm having too much fun. I'm going to wait till I'm ready to die. Well, he got fooling around with a married woman, and the husband shot him. That's a true story. He's laying up there in the hospital in a coma, ready to die, and the family calls for the preacher. But let me tell you, if you're in a coma, you're not conscious. You don't know what you're doing.
Amen.
He woke up just long enough, Rick, to say, pull my feet out of the fire. Pull my feet out of the fire.
Too late.
My cousin more than likely went to hell. Jesus passed by, and he missed him.
You're right.
Now, 2,000 years ago, Jesus walked upon this earth. And he walked by lots of people and lots of things. When Jesus walks by, let me tell you, things change.
Yes.
Things change. They're not going to be the same. Jesus was going to go through Jericho. This was the last trip that he would ever go through Jericho. He was going to pass through the town for the last time because he's on his way to Jerusalem to be crucified. As he went through Jericho, there was a blind man there that needed to touch Jesus. Bartimaeus knew that Jesus was coming, and when he heard him get close, he said, have mercy on me. Jesus, son of David, have mercy.
Amen.
He was walking by, and he come over, and he healed Bartimaeus. His eyes were opened. When Jesus walks by, healing comes.
Amen.
When Jesus walks by, things change in your life.
Yes.
Another time, he was outside this little city, little town, little community, and there was a funeral procession come out. It was a city of Nain. There was a widow there following her son to the graveyard, her only son that she had left. Going to take him to the graveyard and bury him. But Jesus was coming into town when they passed by. When they got close. This is what I imagine happened. He went up to that widow and said, "Dry your tears. Don't cry. I'm passing by today."
Yes.
He resurrected her son right there.
Praise
Gave
the
him
Lord.
back to his mother. When Jesus walks by, even the dead raise.
Amen.
Even the dead raise. One other place he goes by the tombs and there's a demon-possessed man there. Demon-possessed as you can be. He's full of demons. But when Jesus passed by, let me tell you something. Demons shake in fear.
Yes.
Demons run. He was delivered and set free. When Jesus comes by, you can be set free. When Jesus comes by, everything that's wrong can be right. When he comes by,
Yes.
Amen.
everything changes.
Yes.
Thank God.
When he comes by.
Yes.
In another place, Jesus is on his way to resurrect a little 12-year-old girl. Her father is come and he said, "Will you heal my daughter?" And he's on the way and there's a great crowd going with him. And there's a woman on the outskirts of this crowd that's got an issue of blood. She's been sick for years. She spent every penny that she's got on the doctor.
Yes.
They couldn't touch her. Couldn't touch what was wrong with her. But when Jesus come by, the word says, she reached up and got a hold of the hem of his garment
Yes.
and
Yes.
was healed instantly.
Amen.
When Jesus walks by, Rick, oxygen tanks leave,
That's right.
brother.
Amen.
When Jesus
Amen.
walks by, hearts that's diseased get better. Cancer
Yes.
runs. It'll run off of you when Jesus walks by.
Amen.
Amen. We're going to the, I think, 17th chapter of Mark.
Bless him, Lord.
It says this right here. On his way to Jerusalem, Jesus went along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into the village, 10 men with leprosy came toward him. They stood at a distance and shouted, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." Jesus looked at him and said, "Go show yourself to the priest." On their way, they were healed. When one of them discovered that he was healed, he came back shouting praises to God. He bowed down at the feet of Jesus, thanked him. The man was from the country of Samaria. I want us to look at these 10 lepers. One come back.
Amen.
Only one. They were all 10 healed, but one come back.
Yeah.
One come back and thank him. Thank you for what he had done. They had a terrible death sentence on them. Leprosy was the most, it's worse than cancer is to us now. It was a terrible disease. Leprosy would just totally wipe everything in your life out. The first thing that happened if you contacted leprosy was little white spots would break out upon your face and on your hands. Then they would turn pink. Then they would turn brown and they would scale over. That's the first thing that happened with leprosy. The next thing, it would spread all over your body in big open sores with pus running out that stunk ungodly. You couldn't stand the smell of it. Would run all over you. People couldn't even get close to you. It smelled so bad. It was so contagious, you couldn't get around it. The next thing is your eyebrows fell out. Your hair turned white. Your fingers began to fall off. Your toes fell off. And in some cases, if it got bad enough, your nose would fall off. That's a terrible condition,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
And usually when you had leprosy, it lasted 9 years. And then you died. That was the end of it. That's sort of like sin in our life.
Bless him, Lord.
Sin is just like leprosy. It's a disease that will consume you, eat you up, separate you. You will not have any friends. Nothing will work for you. And it will lead to your destruction.
Yes.
These lepers not only were diseased, they were separated. They couldn't go around their loved ones. If they had a sister, a brother, a wife, a mom, or a dad, or children, they could not have any contact with them. They were out in the leper colony, outside of town. Now, some families would bring them food, clothing, and supplies, and lay them down somewhere close and then get away, and they would get to see their families from a distance. But most families didn't do that. Most families went ahead and had a funeral service and considered them dead. Sad place. They had to rip their clothes, and every time they come around anybody, they had to holler, unclean, unclean. They couldn't go to the market. They couldn't go to church. They were totally separated. That's what sin does to you.
Yes.
They also were searching for something. They were searching for deliverance.
Yes.
Jesus come by. He come by, and it just, that walking by, he healed them and they were changed.
Yes.
When Jesus comes by, things are never, ever going to ever be the same. If you're unhappy, he'll make you happy.
Amen.
If you're depressed, man, he'll put you full of enthusiasm.
Yes.
If you're sick, he will heal you.
Amen.
If you're lost, he will save you.
Praise the Lord.
If you're afraid, he'll give you strength and courage.
Yes.
If you're stumbling around in the dark, he'll light a path for you. When Jesus walks by, every demon in hell that is attached to you will fear. They won't know what to do. If you got some bad habit going on, when Jesus walks by, that habit will be smashed, shattered.
Yes.
No matter what's going on in your life, when Jesus walks by, it changes everything. And you think Jesus was walking by 2,000 years ago, and he was. But I will assure you, Jesus is still walking by.
Yes.
He's walking by these seats this morning. He's walking into this building this morning. And he's wanting to reach out and he's wanting to touch you. If you're lost, he's wanting to save you. If you're cold, he's wanting to light a fire inside of you.
Amen.
If you're sick, he's wanting to heal you. If you're discouraged, he wants to encourage you. If you're lonely, he wants to be your friend.
Bless him, Lord.
He's passing by. And he's reaching to you. But he wants you to reach back.
Amen.
Will you reach out this morning and just touch him? Dog, you and Brian. Would you reach out and just touch him as he's passing through you? He's inviting you to come. He's like a mother hen to a chick. He wants to wrap his wings around you. He wants to pull you to him. He wants to take everything that's wrong in your life and make it right. If you're in chains, if you're in bondage to something, he wants to snap those chains.
Yes.
He wants to set you free.
Bless him, Lord.
On a dark and stormy night, on the Sea of Galilee, the disciples were so busy with the fury of the sea, when across the raging waters walked the blessed Lord of light. The Savior walked before them reach out and touch the Lord as He walks by. You'll find He's not too busy to answer your cry. He's passing this moment. All your needs He will supply. Reach out and touch the Lord as He walks by. And as He walked the dusty wayside, on His way to raise the dead, mighty was the throne that touched Him, hungry for the living bread. I must touch Him, cried a woman. Oh, I must touch Him ere I die. So she reached and touched the Lord as He walked by. You gotta reach out and touch the Lord as He walks by. You'll find He's not too busy to answer your cry. He's passing this moment. All of your needs He will supply. Reach out and touch the Lord as He walks by.
He's passing by. He's passing by right now.
Bless Him, Lord.
He's walking right beside the seat where you're sitting at. And He said, Linda, I want to touch you. Rose, I want to touch you. Hi, ye. He said, Rick,
Yeah,
I want to make you strong.
He does.
He said, Tyrell, I want to supply every need you've got in your life.
Praise the Lord.
He said, I want to make everything that's wrong right. I want to supply every need. I want to take all the darkness and take it out. I want to take all the hurt, all the pain, all the aggravation and take it out.
Yes.
All the discouragement, I want to take it out. He's saying, I'm passing by. Will you reach out and take hold of this? Will you reach out and touch Him this morning? He's passing by.
Bless the Lord.
He can change your life.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
He can change everything. You see, when I finally had enough sense to reach back, He took somebody, David, that was so full of hate, so full of prejudice and bitterness. That was a thief, a liar. You named the crime, I done it. But when He came,
Praise
He made me brand new, brother.
Yes.
No longer was I that. But I become a new creature. How about it with you this morning? How about it, David? David, before you talk, let her say something about a nosebleed your way.
Now this has been years ago, okay, but I want to tell y'all this. It was about 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. I was getting ready to go to church. Well, my nose started bleeding at 9 o'clock. And it bled and it bled and it bled. And every time I would move just the tiniest little bit, it would gush. And it went on for 3 hours. It wouldn't quit bleeding. For 3 solid hours, my nose bled and bled. And you know what? I sit there on that couch and I said, God, if every drop of blood in my body goes to the floor, I'm still going to serve you and love you. And you know what? Immediately it stopped, and I've never had another nosebleed since.
Amen.
That's our God. I know
Yes.
God is a healing God.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
This young man, you know, he came forward and I told you.
Yeah.
I asked if he'd like for us to pray for him, and he said, okay.
Yep.
We need the discipling